here. Hopefully, you can hear me. And we are live at Miller's Mission on Facebook, on Twitter, on not Instagram, on Twitch. And really, what we're trying to do here is to raise awareness for our friends at the Boise Rescue Mission. We're asking for pennies for progress. If you're listening across the country, maybe you've heard of me. Hopefully, you can hear this. That's why I have my. You can. Oh, that's even better. Thank you, Misty. Um, that's the funniest thing about what we're trying to do here in Idaho, where we're asking people to stop by the Walmart on Gurney and Franklin, which is a pretty big Walmart, and we want them to give us pennies for progress. And this will help the Summer Rescue Mission. Now, what we're going to do here is, again, we're on Facebook Live, we're on Twitter, we're on Twitch. So I've never been on Twitch, and I know there are a lot of young people. They love to Twitch. They do all these crazy things. So we're going to infiltrate the Twitch world. And, of course, what we're trying to do right now is ask you to come by the Walmart, or you can go to boiserm.org. And I know there are a lot of people that listen to me on KIDO Talk Radio in Boise, Idaho. And I have always been someone who has been a homer for local radio. In fact, we've had opportunities to take the program big time. And when you're big time, and there are a lot of great talk show hosts across the country, but when you do that, you lose that local touch, that local flavor. That's why we're here in Idaho. And if you would like to help a great faith-based nonprofit, it's boiserm.org. We really need your help. They accept no government funding. They accept nothing from the government. So every donation is local. Every donation funds programs that give people a new opportunity. I was sitting there looking at myself thinking, what would happen if I lost my home, or if I lost something else? Well, you have the Boise Rescue Mission that comes in, and they do their very best. Now, it's funny. Usually, and I've made my bones before I came to Boise. For 14 years, I've been here, almost 14 years. But before that, I was in Pittsburgh, and I was in some bigger markets, and we did some local things. But Idaho is very special. And the reason what makes it so special is it's Pleasantville. And that's a good thing. You don't have a lot of crime. You don't have a lot of bad guys. You have people that give back to the community. And it's funny because I've been doing some looking around and studying some national talk show hosts lately. And, in Idaho, you really don't insult people, and not taking anything, not smacking anybody. But in Idaho, you don't really do that. So you have to be more compelling without calling people names. But we do talk about politics, and something that I didn't really mention today, which is just amazing. Obviously, we all have to get along. We all have to do our very best to love one another, as God says. But what's going on in the state of Florida? So you have Governor DeSantis, and Ron DeSantis must really be a danger to people because the liberals don't like him. They've already declared his presidential campaign over. They've already said it's done. And the guy hasn't even started yet. But unlike any Republican, including Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis is taking on the cultural issues. And he's saying, we're not going to have the garbage being taught in schools. We're not going to have the 1619 Project. We're not going to have the critical race thinking. We're not going to transform your kids. And for that, they're attacking him. And the most amazing thing was, and this is from liberal ABC News, where they said, Ron DeSantis is bad. The NAACP has issued a travel warning because he doesn't want the 1619 Project to be taught in schools. Look, we're tired of our kids being indoctrinated. We're tired of our kids coming home and saying, Mommy, Daddy, I hate America. Look, it's guys like me that look like Jerry Garcia, that look like Grizzly Adams, that are being profiled because we don't get a haircut, we haven't had a flea dip in a long time, as bad people. Well, you look like a militia guy. Well, it was the militia people that founded this country. And conservatives have been short to the, it's quick to the fire, calling out liberals. Yes, we don't want kids to be taught that. Is America perfect? No. But the thing about America is that when we've had an issue, we've taken care of it. There are countries like China. There are countries like India. There are countries like Russia where atrocities happen all the time and nothing is done. We give ourselves the guilt trip And because Ron DeSantis, a conservative, a cultural conservative, which, let's face it, when's the last time the Republican Party had a cultural conservative? It's been a long time. He has decided that he's going to look things and put things in perspective and say, no. And the idea that you have the NAACP that I've done work with, that I've had town halls with in the past, if you don't know who I am, you just Google Kevin Miller, and I put my credentials up against anybody, number one. Number two, the idea that they're issuing travel advisories. What did Donald Trump used to call that? Fake news. Fake news to go after this guy because he doesn't want the kids to be indoctrinated. Look, they're not going to learn in school that America was the greatest, although it is. You got to learn the history. You got to learn what happened in the Civil War and the Civil Rights Movement, because without the struggle, we wouldn't appreciate what we have. But the idea that ABC News, almighty ABC News, home of George Stephanopoulos and everybody else, had the audacity over the weekend with their ABC radio news saying they've issued a travel advisory, the NAACP has, because Ron DeSantis doesn't want Black history being taught in schools, is a total fabrication. You know it, I know it, and they know. And the idea that any type of government, local, state, or national, would sanction any type of action against people because of their race is preposterous. Okay, I've done my political spiel, and I'm not going to give you the sports spiel because, well, maybe that'll be for another time. But while we're here, every day we'll do this online show. You can always reach me at Facebook, on Twitter, at Kevin Miller Show. We would love for you to be a part of it. We're actually on our YouTube channel as well. I think I have Kevin Miller Show, The Kevin Miller Show, Fat to Back, and so many failed attempts at doing these video shows that I said, no, this time we're going to be here. This time we're going to talk about the issues that matter. And like I said, we're at the Nampa Walmart, Garrity and Franklin. We would love for you to stop by, say hello, talk to the folks, talk to the people, give some pennies, because when you give pennies, you make a difference. Pennies, dollars, you name it, everything is accepted. And we're proud to be here. And like I said, we're going to be here every day, Mountain Time, 6A to 6P, and on Saturday until 6 o'clock at night. So let's not let it be said that conservatism doesn't give back. And we're not some conservatives that everything stinks. Everything doesn't stink. We live in America. And there's nothing more American than some of these folks walking around in Walmart right now. And we thank Walmart for having us here. But the idea that we're going to censor people is just absurd. And we need to call them out and urge them to engage in that debate. And you're welcome to do that. Again, if you're one of our national or international viewers, all you have to do, Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio, we go live. Let's see, Eastern time is 8 to noon in the morning. And Central, whatever, who cares about Central? Mountain time, it's 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. But we would love for you to join us. We would love for you to donate to the Boise Rescue Mission. And again, keep this faith-based program alive. Think about this. The schools. What have we heard about the schools? Well, you've got big business and the big government telling the schools, you better do this or you're not getting our money. We've got government programs. You better do this or you're not getting our money. And then what? And then you have the Boise Rescue Mission that says, we're not taking, as they call him, Uncle Sugar. Sorry, Uncle Sugar, we're not taking your money. So you can't tell us what to do. What a blessing. And you don't have to live in Boise, Idaho to appreciate them. You don't have to live in Idaho to appreciate what they do. And again, we're blessed to be a part of it. It's boiserm.org. And coming up tomorrow, I'll make sure that we have some more compelling content, and we'll talk a little bit more. And maybe I'll figure out how we can interact back and forth. But I figure this is the first step. I've been trying to do this for, 37 years. I've had the software. Thanks, Reverend Bill. I've had the software. I've had the ability to do it. And we just decided to take the leap because we're going to be here. And it's either that or continuing writing. And thank goodness for AI that gets rid of my grammatical mistakes. All right. That having been said, God bless. Keep the faith. We hope to see you again. And remember, you can subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter. We'll try and give you something compelling to follow and, of course, to make a difference. So 10 minutes of Kevin's commentary, and anytime KIDO Talk Radio in Boise, Idaho. And you can check out the app, and it's a wonderful thing. You can tell I'm very enthusiastic about it. Sincerely, God bless, and we appreciate you. Have a good one. oh, I was ready to go, and then I forgot to press the button.